You know what? I didn't think I was going to do another Paper Mario video, but after reading Andy Robinson's interview with Tanabe, who is a producer of modern Paper Mario, that kinda changed. If you're set in stone about getting Paper Mario the Origami King, you might change your mind after you watch this video. The reason I'm making this video is to inform you guys what Paper Mario the Origami King is all about, and how the developers pretty much said, we don't care, when it came to criticism and feedback. This isn't going to be a very positive video, and even though I strive to make content that's fun like my Mario Kart 9 series and my upcoming Year of Waluigi celebration, there are certain times where I feel like I need to get critical. That way you guys will stay informed. And this is one of those cases. Join me in this video to understand what's going on with Paper Mario and what we can do to change it. After reading the interview with Tanabe, there were two parts of the article that really said a lot about what's going on with Paper Mario and why the series changed so much. A lot of these reasons are common knowledge. We know that Miyamoto suggested only using existing Mario characters, and we know the focus on story isn't something they wanted because that would be quote-unquote too complex. This isn't something unique to Paper Mario either. The 2D Mario series nowadays is extremely guilty of this. The first part that caught me off guard in the interview was when Tanabe was asked about the villains in the game. The question was this: Mario is famous for its iconic cast of villains. Can you talk about the new villain in this game? And how do you design a character to stand alongside all-time greats like Bowser and Kamek? The response was this: since Paper Mario Sticker Star, it is no longer possible to modify Mario characters or to create original characters that touch on the Mario universe. That means if we aren't using Mario characters for bosses, we need to create original characters with designs that don't involve the Mario universe at all, like we did with Ollie and the stationary bosses. This could also apply to the quote-unquote partners in the game too. None of the partners have original designs, and don't tell me lacking a fuse is on par with something like Bobbery. This, while disappointing, would make sense considering the current situation with Paper Mario, but there are actually a few characters in the game that are based on existing enemies that have original designs. They're not the coolest looking, but it's something. That's a bit strange, but here's what I don't get. When Miyamoto suggested only using established characters in the Mario series, I don't think he meant only use the bare minimum. I strongly disagree with Miyamoto's stance on only using established Mario characters instead of creating new ones, but if that's the restriction, why not use some characters that are rarely seen or would just be really cool? The first new Super Mario Bros. Had all kinds of cool bosses they could work with. Mommy Pokey and Lack of Thunder would be super cool to see again. And beyond a few enemies in Birdo, no characters from Mario 2 have appeared since. Why not use some enemies from that game for reference? Even characters like Daisy, Wario, and Rosalina have appeared in at least one mainline Mario game before. Really, there's many characters you can use that already exist. And when it comes to creating new characters, I don't know about you, but bosses shouldn't be stuff you'd find at Office Depot. That isn't cute or creative. For a one-time thing like the steak and color splash, that's fine. But it's absolutely ridiculous here. Remember when the angry video game nerd was making fun of Action 52 for having safety pins as enemies? This is no better. The Mario series is capable of having unique variations of existing characters too. Look at Super Mario Odyssey. But the main point I really wanted to get into is something all fans should know about the game, and it goes to show how the developers of Paper Mario the Origami King really feel about fans and critics of the recent Paper Mario games. And the answer to the question is simply infuriating. The question was this: the most recent Paper Mario games were criticized by some for perceived simplification of both story and battles compared to past games. Were you aware of fan and concern, and did you seek to address it with the Switch version? Tanabe's response was this: I do look through the opinions of fans once a game is released. As there are cases where I can't address those opinions exactly as fans want, I try to challenge myself to other new fun ideas. What I always keep in mind though, is to do as much as I can so players enjoy new and unique game experiences. I'm confident that if you play Paper Mario the Origami King, you'll understand how many ideas we managed to pack into one game. There's a lot of beating around the bush here, but essentially, Tanabe has heard the fan feedback. He has heard the complaints, and instead of addressing them, him and the developers decided that fan feedback isn't important enough, and creating new ideas and trying to make ideas that didn't work in the past work are more important than any of the fan feedback. He also said keep an open mind about the game. Oh, I'll keep an open mind about the game, alright, but I'll keep a closed wallet about it too. Trying new things is one thing. Super Paper Mario did it, and for the most part, fans really liked the game. Even with Sticker Star, fans didn't like it, including myself, but I would argue that it was a new idea that had some cool concepts, but just completely didn't work out. That's fine. Heck, I don't think anyone ever asked for a Mario and Rabbids crossover, and that turned out to be one of the best Mario games ever made. But Paper Mario is a completely different ballpark. There's a right way to have new concepts, and a wrong way. On one end, you can have something like New Super Mario Bros. U, which doesn't introduce much at all and feels super stagnant and too similar to New Super Mario Bros. Wii. But then you have Paper Mario, which ditches so much from what the fans loved about the past games that it's not even similar. The thing is, Nintendo has done well balancing the core concepts with new ideas plenty of times. In fact, 95% of the time, Nintendo games retain the original core aspects fans loved about the games while introducing plenty of new concepts. Whenever I see posts that Nintendo and fans are hypocrites for not liking Paper Mario the Origami King, or any modern game because it's different, it's so ridiculous. Take Super Mario Odyssey for example. Fans were screaming for an open-world 3D Mario game for over a decade, and look what we got. We got an open-world 3D Mario game that retained what we loved about 64 Sunshine and introduced many things. The way you collect moons, capturing, the kingdoms, the costumes. There are so many new concepts, but you know what? The game is still a Mario game. It's not foreign to the series at all, and keeps the core aspects that we love. Same goes for Luigi's Mansion 3. Takes the best aspects from the first two games and expands on those, while also adding a ton of new content. Next Level games specifically listen to fan feedback, and we got a phenomenal game because of it. Even the Mario and Luigi games for the most part keep the core aspects of the game, but expand on them with new stories, locations, and mechanics. But with Paper Mario the Origami King, it's so different that it's not even similar. But again, it's kinda like Star Fox Zero in this way. It also faces the issue of being too similar to past games, and those past games are the only ones being Sticker Star and Color Splash. It continues the theme of revolving everything around paper and a craft. Stickers, paint, and now origami and confetti. The battling is still pointless, but the thing that makes this all the more sad and frustrating to me is that this game could have been great if Tanabe and his team weren't so stubborn to listen to fan feedback. Paper Mario the Origami King has a lot of things going for it. The art style is great, the music is great, and even though the story, while not the most complex, has some genuinely interesting moments. I won't spoil anything about it, so I'll end it there. But this is all brought down by the fact that Tanabe and his team pretty much said, fan feedback, yeah, we don't care, and this caused the demise of the game. The big issues that fans had with Sticker Star and Color Splash weren't just the stickers and cards alone, it was the fact that battles were pointless. You didn't get any experience points, so they're pointless here too. Look, if you can't get any experience for battling and this game absolutely can't be a Mario RPG, at the very least get rid of turn-based battles. If they're pointless, just have defeatable enemies in real time like the mainline Mario games or Super Paper Mario. But if it's gonna be an RPG, it shouldn't pretend it is. Battles have to mean something. You remember how I said I was suspicious they were hiding the battle system in the first trailer? Well, this is exactly why. They learned nothing. They didn't listen to the fans. These battles are monotonous. And of course, there's the character design. I don't know who's putting the extreme restrictions of using only characters from Super Mario Bros. 3, but it screams laziness more than anything else. And yeah, I'm aware that some enemies are a bit unusual, but for the most part, characters from this game are only from Super Mario Bros. 3. Why not use stuff from Odyssey, Galaxy, 3D World, literally anything else? I don't understand why they say they can't modify Mario characters. Something as simple as giving the enemies unique costumes, personalities, and hairstyles is something even fans can do. If I want to play vanilla Mario, I'd play New Super Mario Bros. U. It shouldn't be this way. If Tanabe and his team just listened to these two critical complaints, at the very least the game could have been great in its own way. I would have liked if they went to the original style and expanded on it in 64 and the Thousand Year Door, but if it's good in its own way, that's fine too. But because of the complete disregard of fan feedback, I'm gonna give this game a complete disregard of a purchase. Sticker Star didn't work out, fine. Color Splash didn't work out either, not fine because they should have listened to fan feedback in the first place. But I will play devil's advocate and say this. Many Wii U games are similar to 3DS games, and by 2016, the Wii U was pretty much dead. If I were Nintendo, I wouldn't put in all my effort for a dead system either. It doesn't make it a good game by any means, but I have a little bit of an understanding why it turned out the way it did. Paper Mario the Origami King? There is no excuse. It baffles my mind why Nintendo would continue to make games that simply have proven to not work. No experience and bland characters were the biggest complaints about Sticker Star and Color Splash, along with the cryptic puzzles. It seems the cryptic puzzles are gone, but the other two issues they have failed to address on purpose for some baffling reason. I think they just think this formula can work, but it's proven it hasn't been able to work. And because it's clear Nintendo didn't care about the fans when it came to this game, why should I care about them? Why should I give my hard-earned cash to a company that refused to listen to fan feedback? It's confusing why they even made a sequel to Color Splash, which is one of the most hated Nintendo games. It sold so bad that Nintendo had to hide sales numbers. I'll give it this. It was one of the last Wii U games and a sequel to one of the worst Nintendo games, so Nintendo probably expected to fail to some extent. But here, the Switch has a much higher install base, and if this game doesn't sell well, that's the only way they'll get the message. I think it's fair for fans to know what's going on with the series, and if they don't like the direction it's going, they should simply vote with their wallet in addition to criticism, because that's the only way they'll learn. Well, this isn't exactly what I'd call a happy ending, but the good news is a direct is rumored to happen soon, and the Super Mario 35th and F-Zero Japan Twitter accounts were found, so if anything, we might have that 3D Mario collection and maybe, just maybe, a new F-Zero to look forward to. Anyways, my next video will be a lot more fun. I just really needed to get this off my chest. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments and keep calm and Dada on.